Tonight, Donald Trump supporters have gathered outside his Mar-a-Lago estate and say the move was, quote, blatant political persecution. Good evening, I'm Elliot Rodriguez.
And I'm Naja Sherman. Thank you for joining us. Lauren Pastrana is off. CBS News Miami's Joe Gorchow joins us now. He explains why Governor Ron DeSantis says Florida won't get involved.
Trump supporters stand together, waving flags backing the former president. Many gathering just behind me on this bridge you see, which is just outside Trump's Mar-a-Lago property. They've been gathering throughout the day, dozens at a time. They believe the indictment is politically motivated.
What's happening to him right now is just not fair.
American flags, Trump flags, wave in the wind expressing support for the former president.
Persecute a political candidate, and I think that's un-American. I think it's wrong. I think it's criminal in itself.
The offense is so minor. It's almost like a red light camera. You don't even know you committed the offense.
We spoke with former U.S. Attorney David Weinstein, who offers perspective on the potential charges in the indictment.
In New York State, there is a law that says if you falsify or make inaccurate business records, that's a misdemeanor. If the conduct itself overall was done with the intent to break another law, it is a felony. It's not just a misdemeanor. And again, we don't know how many counts are contained in this indictment.
Trump supporters, though, are not alone. Governor Ron DeSantis tweeted Thursday it's un-American and that he would not assist in an extradition request, which would be legal under Florida law.
The statute says may and gives it to the judgment and discretion of the governor. That's the way the statute was written. And the legislators who wrote that statute many years ago had good reason to do that. They gave discretion to the governor.
Weinstein adds DeSantis legally is not compelled at this moment, even by the U.S. Constitution, Article 4, Section 2, which states a person charged in any state with treason, felony, or other crime who shall flee from justice and be found in another state shall, on demand of the executive authority of the state from which he fled, be delivered up to be removed to the state having jurisdiction of the crime. Weinstein explains it's because Trump did not flee. CBS News learning Trump plans to surrender early next week.
Never in the history of our country have we seen an instance of one of our former leaders, a former president, being indicted and charged.
History is unfolding in front of our eyes.
This has to come to an end, because if it doesn't end with Donald Trump, and we have a Republican in the White House, are we going to do the same stupid things? I hope not.
And CBS News has learned that Trump will fly to New York on Monday, escorted by Secret Service, and then will surrender to authorities on Tuesday. Joe Gorchow, CBS News, Miami.